Yes.
So this is the class number 1.
Mm-hmm. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारि यमुना वनचारि यमुना तीरा वनचारि यमुना तीरा वनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी 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 जय उमेशपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्रोत्र श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शीला प्रभुपाद की जय इस्कॉन बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य शीला प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नामाचार्य शीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज ऑल ग्लोरीज श्री गुरु एंड श्री गौरंग ऑल ग्लोरीज टू शीला प्रभुपाद ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 7 कैंटो 10 चैप्टर 7 वर्स नंबर 13 to 15 ये सुयानृत दम्भेर्ष हिंसा मान विवर्जिता न तेषां सत्यं शीलानाम् आशीषो विफलाकृता इति बालकम् आदाय सामर्गयुजुरुपाकृते जले पवित्रौषधिभिरभिषिच्य स्वस्तयानाम् नन्दगोपसमाहिता हुत्वा चाग्निं द्विजातिभ्यः प्रादाद अन्नं महागुणम्. Translation: when the Brahmanas are free from envy, untruthfulness, unnecessary pride, grudges, disturbance by the opulence of others, and prestige and false prestige, their blessings never go in vain. Considering this, Nanda Maharaj soberly took Krishna on his lap and invited such truthful Brahmanas to perform a ritualistic ceremony according to holy hymns of the Samaveda, Rigveda and Yajurveda. Then, while the hymns were being chanted, he bathed the child with water mixed with pure herbs. And after performing a fire ceremony, he sumptuously fed all the Brahmanas with a first-class grains and other food. Purport. Nanda Maharaj was very confident about the qualification of the Brahmanas and their blessings. He was fully confident that simply if good Brahmanas showered their blessings, the child Krishna would be happy. The blessings of qualified Brahmanas can bring happiness not only to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but to everyone. Because Krishna is self-sufficient, he does not require anyone's blessings. Yet Nanda Maharaj thought that Krishna required the blessings of the Brahmanas. What then is to be said of others? In human society, therefore, there must be an ideal class of men, Brahmanas, who can bestow blessings upon others, namely upon the Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras, so that everyone will be happy. Krishna therefore says in Bhagavad Gita 4.13 that human society must have 4 social orders. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtim guna karma vibhagasha. It is not that everyone should become a Shudra or a Vaishya and human society will prosper. As enunciated in Bhagavad Gita, there must be a class of Brahmanas with qualities like Satya, truthfulness, Sama, peacefulness, Dama, self-control, and Titiksha, tolerance. Samadama. Here also in the Bhagavatam, Nanda Maharaj invites qualified Brahmanas. There may be caste Brahmanas and we have all respect for them, but their birth in Brahman families does not mean that they are qualified to bestow blessings upon other members of human society. This is the verdict of the Shastras. In Kali Yuga, caste Brahmanas are accepted as Brahmanas. Vipratve sutram evahi, Bhagavatam 12:3. In Kali Yuga, simply by putting on a thread worth 2 paise, one becomes a Brahmana. Such Brahmanas were not called for by Nanda Maharaj. As stated by Narad Muni, Bhagavatam 7:11-35. Yasya yal lakshanam proktam. The symptoms of a Brahmana are stated in Shastra, and one must be qualified with these symptoms. The blessings of the Brahmanas who are not envious, disturbed, or puffed up with pride and false prestige, and who are fully qualified with truthfulness will be useful. Therefore, a class of men must be trained as Brahmanas from the very beginning. Brahmachari Gurukule Vasandanto Guror Hitam. Bhagavatam 7:12-1. The word Danta is very important. Danta refers to one who is not envious, disturbing or puffed up with false prestige. With Krishna consciousness movement, we are trying to introduce such Brahmanas in society. Brahmanas must ultimately be Vaishnavas, and if one is a Vaishnava, he has already acquired the qualifications of a Brahmana. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, Bhagavad Gita 18:54. The word Brahma Bhuta refers to becoming a Brahmana or understanding what is Brahman. Brahma Janatithi Brahmana. One who is Brahma Bhuta is always very happy, Prasannatma. Na sochati na kankshati. He is never disturbed about material necessities. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. He is ready to bestow blessings upon everyone equally. Mad bhaktim labate param. Then he becomes a Vaishnava. In this age, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur introduced the sacred thread ceremony for his Vaishnava disciples with the idea that people should understand that when one becomes a Vaishnava, he's already acquired the qualification of a Brahmana. Therefore, in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, those who are twice initiated so as to become Brahmanas must bear in mind their great responsibility to be truthful, control the mind and senses, be tolerant, and so on. Then their life will be successful. It is such Brahmanas that Nanda Maharaj invited to chant the Vedic hymns, not ordinary Brahmanas. Verse 13 distinctly mentions Himsamana. The word mana refers to false prestige or false pride. Those who were falsely proud, thinking that they were Brahmanas because they were born in Brahmin families, were never invited by Nanda Maharaj on such occasions. Verse 14 mentions Pavitrao Sadhi. In any ritualistic ceremony, many herbs and leaves were required. These were known as Pavitra Patra. Sometimes they were Nimba leaves, sometimes Bela leaves, mango leaves, Ashwatha leaves or Amalika leaves. Similarly, they were Panchagavya, Pancha Sasya and Pancharatna. Although Nanda Maharaj belonging to Vaishya community, everything was known to him. The most important word in these verses is Mahagunam, indicating that the Brahmanas were offered very palatable food of exalted quality. Such palatable dishes were generally prepared with two things, namely food grains and milk products. Bhagavad Gita 18:44 therefore enjoins that human society must give protection to the cows and encourage agriculture. Krishi go raksha vanijyam vaishya karma swabhavajam. Simply by expert cooking, hundreds and thousands of palatable dishes can be prepared from agricultural produce and milk products. This is indicated here by the words Annam Mahagunam. Still today in India, from these two things, namely food grains and milk, hundreds and thousands of varieties of food are prepared. And then they are offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasad. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhakta Prayachati. Then the prasad is distributed. Even today in Jagannath Kshetra and other big temples, very palatable dishes are offered to the deity. And prasad is distributed profusely, cooked by first-class Brahmanas with expert knowledge and then distributed to the public. This prasad is always also a blessing from the Brahmanas or Vaishnavas. There are 4 kinds of prasad, Chaturvida: salty, sweet, sour and pungent tastes are made with different types of spices, and the food is prepared in 4 divisions called Charvya, Chushya, Leya and Peya. Prasad that is chewed, prasad that is licked, prasad tasted with the tongue, and prasad that is drunk. Thus, there are many varieties of prasad prepared very nicely with grains and ghee, offered to the deity and distributed to the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas and then to the general public. This is the way of human society. Killing the cows and spoiling the land will not solve the problem of food. This is not civilization. Uncivilized men living in the jungle and being unqualified to produce food by agriculture and cow protection may eat animals. But a perfect human society advanced in knowledge must learn how to produce first-class food simply by agriculture and protection of the cows. Protection of cows. Om Ajnanatimirantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namahom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Mukham karoti vachalam pangulangyati grimyat kipatham vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Vanchakalpatresha kapasin vachapatitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo. So yesterday only we were somebody was mentioning that because you are twice initiated and all, so then Brahman hairs and something they were joking about it, and today this verse shows up, so this is ironical, and that's why I think today's day was ideal because many of them are not here. so yeah, it works out, So Prabhupada and Sukdev Goswami and everyone in the parampara, so it's like it's made for you, the verse is made for you. When the Brahmanas are free from envy, okay, not there. Untruthfulness, not there. Unnecessary pride, not there. Grudges, definitely not there. The disturbance of opulence of others, that means jealousy and envy, right? And false prestige. That's why when Prabhupada mentions that initiation is just the beginning, this verse actually proves that part. And it is like, even if we are in the spiritual world, at least I am, I will never be called for, blessing Krishna. so tough verse, but Prabhupada is mentioning, yeah, it's better to try. Prabhupada always mentioned that.
This is to inspire.
Yes, this is to inspire. Exactly, that is the point. That we should know what the ideal is. That how a Vaishnava, because why is Brahmanical qualifications required or Brahmanical qualities are required, is to understand the Supreme Absolute Truth. Yes, either you are already on that platform which is making you liberated, the Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma platform, and that's why that is the aspiration. Yes, it's not that it's a wand, a magic wand that it's given and then you transform into something, you have wings and something like that, and then you transform into something which is totally different. Like Maharaj mentions that when a devotee boils potatoes in the cooker, right, at the end of it you don't get a cupcake, you still get potatoes. And even outside when they cook potatoes, they still have potatoes, So what's the difference, So Prabhupada is mentioning over here, the internal qualities are totally different. Yes, the internal qualities are totally different. It's not because of this 2 paisa is not there anymore, but at least 10 rupees, let's say, But it's still not because of this you become a Brahmana. We can see the predecessors, Srila Prabhupada himself, what kind of a level of austerity and what kind of level of magnanimity, and all these qualities were exemplified by him. So that's why we need predecessors in such a way that we can actually get inspired and follow. We can see that it can be done. Yes, it's not that because it is Kali Yuga it cannot be done and the rules don't apply anymore. But Prabhupada and the Acharyas show us that no, even today, whether we are so advanced or not, it is still applies. So a Brahmana might externally be suffering, but Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, he's always happy, like Sudama Vipra. Yes, he's externally suffering, but internally Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. He's always happy, he's always Krishna conscious. Yes, always Krishna conscious. And that's why to develop these qualities, how do we develop these qualities? No, just go to a market and then buy the sacred thread and then you have those qualities. No, Prabhupada is mentioning that we should focus on them. How to focus on them? By chanting Hare Krishna. Only by devotional service, because he says that a Vaishnava is automatically a Brahmana. Why? Because those qualities are going to come. Maybe they are not there right now. Yes, maybe they are not there right now, but they will come. Yes, they will come. So we need to be prepared. We need to focus on Krishna, because Om Apavitra Pavitrava Sarvavastam Gatopiva Yas Mareta Pundarikaksham Sabhaya Abhyantara Suchi. Sabhaya Abhyantara Suchi. Whether one is pure or impure, yes, Om Apavitra Pavitrava. It doesn't matter, because Krishna is Pavitra. Yesterday or day before yesterday I was listening to Radha Govind Maharaj, and he was mentioning about the Rasa Leela, that even though somebody might aspire to have that conjugal rasa with Krishna, still, because it is Krishna, he will still become purified. Yes, he will still become purified. She will still become purified, even though it might be taken on a mundane platform. But their attachment is to Krishna, and they are not using to develop their own sense gratification to their own husbands or to their own, wives or whatever that is. So that's why the blessings of those Brahmanas who are not envious, yes, not disturbed or not puffed up. Who is a person over there today? It's very difficult to find such a person. Yes, every single, even devotees are afflicted. Yes, there's so much klesha. Yes, hypocrisy and quarrel. So it is going to come. Yes, it is going to come. What was it that we were discussing last time? That it's not that in one of the Bhagavatam, morning Bhagavatam verses, even there, there was a very difficult verse which you get. And then the verse mentioned that Indra, there are so many problems going on over there. Now the demigods are being worshipped by the Brahmanas. Yes, worshipped by the Brahmanas in the yagyas. They are being called to the yagyas to attend the yagyas. And such demigods are also facing problems. Yes. So these problems are going to come. These issues in the life of devotees, whether they are first or second or even a sannyasi sometimes, they will come because Maya is very powerful. Yes. Bhajahu re mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanar Vindare. Yes. Abhaya Charanar Vindare. By taking the shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, Shri Krishna, Shri Nandanandana, then only one can actually cross this ocean of material existence. And that's why Prabhupada is mentioning, how are we going to do that? He is trying to develop such class of devotees who are going to be the leaders of society. Yes, who can bless the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas and the Shudras. Why do you need Brahmanas? Because we see the world today, they don't know the simple things. Prabhupada was mentioning that it is so simple. He says that anybody with teeny brain substance will understand that God exists. The Supreme Lord exists. What is the purpose of life? They are trying to solve the problems of what? They are trying to solve birth, old age, disease and death, but they are not thinking that that is the real problem. It's not working out. So that's why there is a headless society. Yes, headless society. And in Bhagavatam Prabhupada mentions in the preface that misdirected civilization, bringing a cultural revolution. This is the cultural revolution which Prabhupada is mentioning about. And today somebody might stand up in a devotee circle and say that no, we don't need this dress, we don't need this, we don't need that. But then where is the cultural revolution? Yes, then we become one of the other groups. No, Prabhupada gave us everything. What does everything mean? He gave us the dress also. Yes, he gave us everything. So it's a cultural revolution to guide human society. Jayadvaita Maharaj was mentioning that these qualities of untruthfulness. Untruthfulness does not mean that, that if I ask Mataji, like, tell me what did you do on this day and this time and, in your life when you were 7 years old. And then she tells me that, no, I was playing cricket, but she was actually cooking, something like that. And then that she's untruthful. No, that is not untruthfulness. It means we are compromising the principles of Krishna consciousness. Yes, we are not speaking the absolute truth. Yes, we are not hearing the absolute truth. You're trying to cheat people, yes, from their goal of coming to the platform of the absolute truth. And so the point is that untruthfulness means Srila Prabhupada never compromised. Yes, that's truthfulness. Yes, that's truthfulness. So that's why when people bring up philosophies, when they validate that something other than Krishna consciousness, this is okay, that is okay, and they keep aside Krishna, that is untruthfulness. Yes, that is untruthfulness. Yes, it's unpalatable to the soul. So that's why that is an important aspect. What it means to be truthful, that everything is meant for Krishna. If there is any other goal, and if that person is giving any other goal, then that is untruthful. So the preachers and the speakers, they have to be very careful. If they're giving out, what are they giving out? Because you can give out something which is an understanding what you have. Otherwise you cannot give out that. Yes, Jayadvaita Maharaj was mentioning about this point of truthfulness. So that that there are so many people out there who are giving these other aspects of bhakti, not bhakti, sorry, the other aspects of philanthropy, that do good, be good, do everything, do that and do this and do that. And then there are other yoga studios who are giving the Hare Krishna Mahamantra also. They are chanting and dancing, but they are not devotees. So then we will also take up those kinds of principles. Why? Because that is a way of preaching. Yes, to the aspect that we bring them to Krishna. Shri Radha Madhavari ki jai. Till the aspect of bringing them to Krishna. But for years and years, if that person doesn't even know about Krishna, then what is the use of that studio? What is the use of that preaching? Yes, it's not preaching at all. Yes, it is not preaching at all. Krishna needs to be introduced. Yes, why? Because there are so many aspects. That person can go so many places. They will get the same things over there. But if we are not giving the product which we have, what is the use of our shop? Yes. Yes, Jayadvaita Maharaj was mentioning this, that the others are giving it out. So what? But there will be the seekers of gold. There will be the seekers, those people who are so rich that they will be requesting the supreme absolute truth. And for those people, yes, for those people, we have to keep our shop open. We have to be receptive. Somebody was mentioning that, when they come to the temple, they just hear some, other types of talk, this talk, that talk, and not about Krishna. And so we also become a society of some XYZ organization. It is not related to Krishna at all. So we have to be careful that we don't we have to be so careful introducing Krishna. No, Krishna is the central feature. Yes. How are we going to show? Because now somebody might mention that, we cannot give out Krishna like that. But the thing is that means you don't know how to preach. Yes. Maharaj was mentioning that the Vedanta Sutra is for everyone. Yes. The thing is that we have to see what the level of the person is, and that's the way we preach. Yes, that does not mean that we do not introduce Krishna. Yes, yes. Introducing Krishna is so important. But how we do it, that is also important. That requires intelligence. Yes, that requires intelligence. So, Jayadvaita Maharaj was mentioning that we have to be truthful in that way, that we have to speak about the absolute truth. Yes, which is given by the acharyas, not our own conception of absolute truth. That is truthfulness. And that's how we keep our shop open. To those seekers who want to go back home, back to God, who want to serve, who want, yes, dharma projita kaitavata nirmatsaranam satam. Yes, Srimad Bhagvatam is for those paramhamsas, which have, Srimad Bhagvatam rejects and kicks out all the cheating religions. And it is for those who want, Krishna, who want to know about the absolute truth. And so that's why Srila Prabhupada never compromised in his books. He gave everything which is perfect. Perfect knowledge, perfect everything. Why? Yes, for us, for seekers who want Krishna, who can go back home, back to Godhead. And that's why he's trying to introduce this aspect of Brahman society to actually tell people, to show people that here Krishna is here, God is here, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here, who is inviting the fallen conditioned souls to go back home to their original position of Krishna consciousness and to be Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. So the trying has to always be there. Yes, sometimes we stop trying. Yes, it is a problem, because till the time we are in the material world, it is going to show up. Complacency is there. Today we might be fired up. Yes, tomorrow we might not be. But what does a steady sadhaka do? He continues either way. Yes, either way. And that's why we have to develop that aspiration to serve only and only for the pleasure of Krishna. Then everything will be successful. Then somebody might come to the platform of real Brahmanas. Yes, which Prabhupada is mentioning over here. Not crooked, not envious, not false pride. Yes, untruthfulness. Yes, no untruthfulness. And then our life will be successful. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.